This WhatsApp AI agent books appointments with clients 100% automatic. Someone sends a text or a voice message. The AI agent checks your office hours and calendar, gets all relevant info from the prospect, books the appointment, sends confirmation emails, and WhatsApp reminders. So the person actually shows up. If you're still using booking forms, you're missing out on clients because forms are annoying to fill out, especially on your phone. It's much more effective to do it all in WhatsApp. 98% of people use it daily. They miss email reminders. They will always check new WhatsApp messages. So by using this WhatsApp AI agent, more people will book and more will show up. That's why today we will build this WhatsApp AI agent that can book appointments with clients for you. If you want to skip the setup, grab my pre-built WhatsApp AI agent templates. It's available inside my AI automations and agent template subscription, where you get a growing library of AI agents and automations. Stick around till the end because I'll also show you exactly how much running this WhatsApp AI agent will cost. Even if you're not on your computer right now, make sure to watch till the end because it will give you a huge advantage over everybody else. You'll discover exactly how AI agents work, how to build them without coding experience, and how to use them to your advantage, whether you want to automate your business or sell AI-powered services. You find all the resources mentioned in this video in this document here that you get access to for free below in the description of this video. Because here we also find our first step, which is to go to the platform called n8n, which allows us to build these AI agents, even if we don't have any coding background. And you can click on Get Started for free if you don't already have an account. And then once you have signed in, you click on Create a new workflow. And the first step we will add, since our agent is running in WhatsApp, we will add a WhatsApp trigger. So this is the starting switch of our AI agent. It will trigger start when it gets a message. Now here, the first thing we always need to do when we add a new module is we need to integrate it with the platform. So here we have client ID and client secret. Now where do we get this? It's pretty simple. You go back to my resource document and here and click on developers.facebook.com. And this opens this window. Now here you need to log in with your Facebook account. It can be your private Facebook account. And then you click on My Apps. And there we need to create a new app. And then we will add these app credentials here in these two fields. So here we click on Create App. Now let's just give it a name, AI Agent Booking. It doesn't really matter what the name is. Click on Next. Here we scroll to the bottom, click on Other, and then Continue. Here we select Business, and here we need to select a business portfolio. If you haven't created a business portfolio yet, you can do this for free on Facebook by going to business.facebook.com. Just follow the process. And once you have done this, you can then select it from the drop down here. And I will select this one that I've already created. Now I have to log in again. And here on the right, we will click on Setup under WhatsApp. Now let's click on Start using the API. Now let's click on Generate Access Token. We will need it later, but let's create it already here. Got it. Now the information we need is client ID and client secret, and we get this under App Setting Basic. Here we have the app ID. Let's grab this, paste it in here. And here we have the app secret. Click on Show, copy that, paste it, save. Okay, it has worked. Now we can test our workflow. But before we do that, let's go back to WhatsApp API setup. Now here I need to go to the bottom here, click on Select my WhatsApp account. Now I need to click on Generate the Access Token, click on Reconnect. Now I can click on Send. And now if I go to WhatsApp, here, either on my phone or my computer, I will get the message. And you can download WhatsApp by going to this link. And then you have it on a computer, which is more convenient if you build systems and have to do a lot of testing. Now we go in there and click on Test Workflow. And then let's open WhatsApp, send a test message, and see, yes, it was received. Now, the other thing we need is a WhatsApp module that sends us a message back, that sends us the response back. So let's go here and click on Add Node, WhatsApp, Send Message. And there we need to create a new credential. And here we need the access token that we get from the top here. And we need the business ID that we get from here. Okay, click Save. Right now we need to select the sender number and the recipient phone number, which we will map in the next step. And here it's just a test message. So now let's connect these two. Let's zoom out a little bit. And now if we click on test workflow and send a message, it should go through. Sure, we get an error here, but here we need to now match the recipient phone number, which is here. I'm just going to drag it into here. And here I switch to expression. And I also want to map it as a field. I put in the phone ID. And now when I go back, click on save, test workflow, and send a test, or let's click start. I should get a message back saying test. Okay, now this is established. Now we can unlink this for now. And now in between those two, we will build our AI agent. So let's go here, click on this plus and already type in AI agent here. And this is the centerpiece, the brain of our workflow. Let's go back for now. And here you see that. And let's connect it. Now here in the WhatsApp agent module, you see there are 3 different connections we need to add. First, we need to have a chat model. Now the chat model is just the AI-powered brain. You can select a range of different ones. I've had the best experience with OpenAI, but you could also use Anthropic and Claude. And here you need to establish a connection with your OpenAI account. If you've never done this, it's very simple to do. You go here to this link, platform.openai.com. Then you can sign up with the same account that you use ChatGPT for. We go here to this setting icon. Then we go to API keys and we click on create a new key. Then here we just give it a name and then select the project, default project, create key, copy that, paste it in here, click on save. And that's all we need to do. We need to select the model. I like to use GPT-4o. Where do we have it? Here. And go back. Now we also want to have a memory. We want our AI agent to remember the chat that we have in WhatsApp. And we'll do that by adding a window buffer memory. And here we click on define below. Context window length is how many past interaction the model should remember. We can just use 20 for now, that's enough. Now here is a key, we need to map it with our trigger here because that's the ID of the session that we get from WhatsApp. We will map this now, so let's click on test, send a message again. Okay, now, first we can map. Okay, but we have gotten an error message because here we need to also select define below. And here we need to give the AI agent our prompt, the input, and this is just a message we send from WhatsApp. That's why we got this error. And now let's go back, click save, test again. Now you see it's working, it's doing something. And here is a key. We will select the phone number because this is how it remembers the chat. And now the final thing we need to do, we need to add the text body. And this is just the output of our AI agent. Now here, it looks like something has changed here. So the sender phone ID, let's just map it again. So it's green. And here the recipient phone number, which is this here, VAID. Now everything is green. Now next we need to add a tool, and that's the key difference between an AI agent and a chatbot. An AI agent can have access to all different kinds of tools to perform actions for you. And I want the first actions to be, okay, check my calendar and see where do I have open slots. So I search for Google Calendar. Here, Google Calendar tool. Now I will just give it a name. Google Calendar read. And here the operation should be get many. Now, before we can actually continue here, you need to click on create new and then add a connection. So I already have my calendar open. This is where I want to handle all the bookings, and this is my Google Calendar in this Google account. So I need to select this account here when I sign in with Google so that it's connected to the correct calendar. So here I have my Google account that I want to use. Click on continue. Okay, successful. Great. Now we can here select my calendar under this email address. Great. And that's all I need to do for now. Let's go back, click save. Now, before we can do a test run, it's really important whenever you add a new tool, you need to tell your AI agent about that. And that's under system. And that you can do under system message. I've already prepared the entire system message that also includes like the tasks my AI agent needs to do, right? With those tools. So I already have this in this resource document. You see it's quite long because it contains everything we're going to build and add over the next couple of minutes to my agent, and all the tasks it should perform and so on. So if I go in here, I will go back to this when we set up more tools. Here you see I need to specify you have access to these tools. The Google Calendar tool that allows you to create, reschedule, and delete events in your calendar. Several Google Sheet tools, and so on. So that's everything of that is specified. Now I've already specified my office hours here. So when do I want my customers or prospects to be able to book calls? When do I have breaks and no calls? So all this is defined here, only 24 hours in advance, and so on, the specific time zones, conversions, etc. So let's go back. Now the next, we will set up another Google Calendar tool. We'll just create a duplicate of that, connect it here. So I also want it to be able to create events in my calendar so I can book appointments. So we'll call it create. Here we have called the operation create. And here I want my AI agent to determine the start and the end date of my booking or appointment. And I've already set this here. So this has this placeholder here where the variable is start, and this is the date and time for when the event should start. And then we have the same for end. This is the date and time when the event should end. And then I will also add an additional field here, which is the summary. This is just the title of my event. So here, the AI agent should just write the title of the event. So I can then see it in my calendar. What is this event about? Okay, so let's go back, click save. And now normally when I added a new tool, I would need to go into my system instructions. And now I need to specify also, okay, what should it do with this Google Calendar tool, right? So what can it do? I need to tell it, okay, you can also book appointments now, create events. I've already specified this, these tools here above. And then we have also specified the tasks already. So this is the workflow. So it starts by asking the user, would you like to book an appointment? And so on. And then it collects all the information. So we'll only do a test of the entire workflow at the end. And so we can test all these different tools and functionalities. So let's continue with our setup. The other thing I want to have is the ability to delete events from my calendar. So if someone cancels an event, then it could delete the event. So here it's rename that calendar delete. Click on that. The operation is just delete. And then here under event ID, this is determined by my AI agent. So here it should find the event based on its ID here and then delete this event. Click back, click save. Now let's drag this a little bit to the side because I will add a few more tools here because I want to organize all the bookings in a Google Sheet so I can keep track of everything. And I've already prepared a Google Sheet template for use, but let's first click on Tool, search for Google Sheet, click on that, and we'll start again with a similar process. So the first is Google Sheet Read, rename that. Now here we need to also create a connection and sign in with Google. But before we do that, we first need to even have a Google Sheet prepared that you can use. And I've already put this in here for you, a Google Sheet template that you can directly access. And here you click on make a copy. Now let's wait a few seconds before it's loaded, because this is a kind of a special Google Sheet that has a custom setup, because this is also where we manage our WhatsApp reminders, because it has a code in the background that's running for us. So to activate this Google Sheet, we click on authorize, click OK. Follow this process. Here we select advanced, and at the bottom we need to select that one. Scroll to the bottom again, click on allow. Now the authorization is completed. We can now click on install, click on installation. Successful. Okay, now it's ready. Let's give it a unique name here so I can later find it in my workflow. Let's call it setdump version 1. And now I go back. And now I need to sign in with the same Google account where I have this Google Sheet in. Click on that and select my Google account. Continue. Successful. Right, and now I should be able to find that. So first it's get rows. That's basically just the ability to read my Google Sheet. Now I can select it from the list here. This is the one I've just created. And from the sheet, that's appointments. Here I want to scroll to the bottom, add the option, data location on sheet, and it should read until the first empty row, and then it should stop, so it doesn't continue forever. This makes my agent a little bit more effective. Let's go back. Now I've added a new tool, so let's go back into my system instructions. Normally I would need to add, right, a new section here. Now you also have access to the Google Sheet tools. The Google Sheet read, right, allows you to read the content of the Google Sheet, and we'll also set up the other ones that allows us the AI agent to add new rows, to make new entries, to update entries. So let's click that, duplicate it, connect it, and this is now our Google Sheet tool. Add rows. Then let's scroll to the bottom here. You want to have append row. And now here, the only value we want to add is the email address. So this is what we will collect from our prospect here. We require that person at some point to give us the email address. And then this will be saved to our Google Sheet with this AI agent. So it will get the email address and save it to our Google Sheet here. So we have a clear identifier of that booking. And to do this, we need to scroll to the bottom here. Here we have the Google Sheets add row tool. We need to add this placeholder or this variable here, email. This is the email address that the user tells you. So this is what the agent then will write into this. And that's all we need here. And we need another Google Sheet tool that can then also, once it has added the email address, it should also add all the other information into the same row, like name, phone number, the time zone, the appointment date, and some basic questions about what the person wants to discuss during our meeting. And to get this information also in the same row, we need to add another Google Sheet, which is called just update rows. And we will select here the operation update row. And now this is already loaded, the right sheet. Now the column to match on, like how does it identify what it should use as a matching parameter? And then we want to use email because that's a unique identifier for every entry we have here. And now what we want to add more values, we want to send more values. So we also want to capture the appointment date when the person wants to book the appointment. And I also have this here. So here, that's the date. Basically, the appointment and time converted to German time zone because that's where I'm located. So I want everything here to be in German time zone. You can change this here. So you just can put in any time zone that you are in. And the next value I want is the booking status. So whether it's confirmed or canceled. So whether it's confirmed or canceled, booking status. So I have this here. This is the status of the appointment which is either confirmed or cancelled. Then I want the time zone. Here, this is the time zone that the person will tell us in the chat. Then we have the name. This is the name of the user. Important to always switch this to expressions. Then we have the phone number. This one. The phone number of the user, and it should be saved with the country code. That's important for WhatsApp to work. And then we have intake form. That's just a quick question that we ask the user why he wants to book the appointment, what he wants to discuss. And that's all we need. Click back, click on save, and now let's go to the AI agent because we have added a new tool with new functions and features it should complete. So here we have like the Google Sheet update row allows it to update rows in a Google Sheet. And we've also specified then what it should do. We will go through this in a minute because we need one more tool we need to add. And that tool is a Gmail tool because we also want to receive a confirmation that someone has booked an appointment. And also we want to send a confirmation email to the person that has gotten the appointment. And we will just handle this via our Gmail account. So here I will just click create a new credential, then sign in with the Gmail account I want to use. I will just use this account here, click on select all, continue. Right, it's connected now. And now I want to have the operation sent. Now here we have just the email from the user. It goes here to expression, the email address the user gave you earlier. Then we have the subject line. The subject line is just the email, it's just new booking date and time converted to German time zone that the user confirmed as appointment, or actually it should be converted to the user time zone. The user time zone that he mentioned earlier, because this is the email that the user gets, right? And here, the next we want the message. And the message is just the booking time of the user that it was confirmed. He gets the booking time, the booking, his name, email address, and so on, so that he can see that if it was correct. And then we want to add options. I want to have receive a confirmation message as well. It's just a BCC. So this is basically just, it includes me also as a recipient without showing up in the original message. So the user doesn't see that I also got the message. So I will just type in my email address that I want to receive the confirmation to. Let's go back, click save. Now we've added a new tool. So normally you go into here, and here I would add the section, hey 3, you have access to the Gmail tool, which allows you to send a confirmation email to the user after booking is confirmed. Okay, so now we can do a test, and we will just switch it to active. In that way, we don't have to continuously hit the test button when we do our test here after each message. So I will just type in anything, and then it will already give me the response. Would you like to book an appointment? So what will happen now? It will walk me through every single step I have specified in my system instructions. So here I have specified this is the tool you have access to, and here's the workflow. Start by asking the user, would you like to book an appointment? Then collect their contact information. Then store the information inside my Google Sheet. And then after collecting all this information, find in my Google Sheet the available times, consider my office hours where I'm available, and so on. A few rules that the time block that any user can book is just 60 minutes. It can only be booked at least 24 hours in advance. And then once all of this is confirmed, I have a few more rules here so that mistakes are avoided. And then in the end, the a calendar, it should also send a reminder email. So you can read this through for yourself so you understand how I wrote it, how I structured it. Let's go back before we continue. Let's actually have a few entries here from my previous tests. And now let's go back to my workflow and to my WhatsApp chat box. Would you like to book an appointment? Yes. Could you please provide your email address? Okay. Now, could you please provide your full name? Now we need a phone number. Let's just type anything here. Now let me know your time zone. I'm based in New York City. What would you like to discuss? How to start a YouTube channel. And you see all of this is going to be saved in here. As you see here, okay, no, I don't know why I get an error here, because there's a plus sign saved. So I think this could be maybe solved with formatting it properly. Let's see. If you pick in a number, no, there's still the error because there's this plus, and Google Sheet doesn't like a plus. So let's just put it in here. Okay, now it got me an even stranger number. So I need to keep it as plain text, right? And now it can modify the system instructions so that it writes the number in the correct format, right? Or go into my Google Sheet, update rows. I will go into the number, and then we have the country code. This is associated with the time zone. So, but I would need to say, hey, but do not use a plus sign and no space between the country code and the actual number. That's why we do this testing, to get rid of the mistakes. So now it has looked at my calendar right here, and now it has, the calendar is in German time zone, so I've specified all of that in my system instructions. So you need to adjust this for your own time zone, so where you are located in, and you need to specify that here. Go through the system instruction and replace that just with your time zone that your Google Calendar is in. And then I see here, it gave me the next available time zone. So 5 time slots. And there I can see that. And now, like if I would be in New York City, obviously I would not pick the AM. So I would like say, okay, 9 AM. So 9 AM on March is, let's see, March 9 AM. I think it should be 2 PM. 9 AM Eastern Standard Time to Germany. It's 2 PM, right? And here it's correct that it's available time slot. So it should now book this here. Let's see. I would just say, yes, I want to use the March 28 at 9 AM. And now let's see if it puts it here. Yes, it's booked in the correct place or the correct time zone for me, 2 PM German time. And here it says that your bookment was confirmed. You've also sent a confirmation email to your inbox. If you have any more questions or to reschedule, feel free to reach out. I'm looking forward to your discussion. Now I can go into my Gmail account and see if I got the confirmation email here to this account. Let's go. And you see here, a new booking was received. And this is like the email that the client gets. So that's why it shows the time zone in the client's time zone. And you see, hey, Andreas Müller, your appointment was confirmed. And it also has been sent to this client here. So our email confirmation also works. Now let's go back to my Google Sheet to see if everything was entered correctly. Yes, so here it was confirmed. New York City time zone, everything is here. I also want to add another cool feature here that makes it even more convenient and easy for my prospects to book appointments. And I want to add the ability to leave voice messages and talk to my AI agent. So let's switch it back to inactive. Add a switch that will determine, okay, is the incoming message a voice or is it a text? And now let's see if I can execute the previous nodes or if it gives me an error. So I can match the proper field. Okay, so it's not getting me anything. Good. And then we need to do, let's just do a manual test here. I will just leave a voice message. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, that stopped. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, let's send it. Now it should receive the voice message. Yes. And now what we need here, we need to scroll to the bottom where it says type. And when this type is audio, then we have a voice message. And we add another routing rule, because if this type is text, then it's just a text message. And now we've added this branch, but we need to connect. Okay, before we connect this, what we will do here, we will store this in a field that is called text. And let's start this again. Let's send a text message. And now we can map this field here, scroll to the bottom. You see here now the body is text. This is the body. No, we don't want the body, we want the type. Okay, no, we want the body. Yes, we want to store the text, not the type. Okay, so, and then this goes into input of AI agent so that it can process it easier when it receives like one from voice and one from text. And then let's drag it a little bit here. What we need to do now is when we send it a voice message, we need to download it first. So we need to pick another module here from WhatsApp called download media. Now we will select and here we need to select my Google account, my WhatsApp account that I connected, which was number 11. And here as a media ID, we need to map that. Let's just go back. Let's send a voice message. Let's drag this over here. Hello, this is the test. And then it should go to the top branch, yes. And now we need to map the media ID, which we get here from audio and here ID. Great. Now we have downloaded it. And now we need to make it available inside my n8n workflow. And here we need a HTTP request module, which is get, and here as a URL, I need to map that. I get the URL from my previous step. So let's test it again. Hello, this is a test. Then I can match this URL. As you see here from my previous node here, I get a URL that I put in here. And now as an authentication, I need to create predefined credential type. And then I need to select WhatsApp API. And here I will select the WhatsApp account I've connected. And now I need to go to send headers. And the header, and now the value, the first value is authorization. The spelling needs to be correct. And here we have Bira. And then this is my access token. I need a space, and that's all I need. And now, before we test it, I need to have another node, because now I have the audio file, but now I need to transcribe the audio so I can send the text to my AI agent, because it cannot by default read audio, it can only read text. So I need to click on transcribe recording. We use the same OpenAI that we've already connected before. Transcribe recording, field data. Perfect. And now we just plug in the input here. And now let's see how it works when I send a voice message. Hello, can you help me book an appointment? Well, let's see, it should go through the top branch. Now the message is transcribed and it's going to be fed into this. Now here I need to map this better. So JSON text, let's map that here. Save. Test again. Hello, can you help me book an appointment? Now it should work. Right, we got it. And if we check this here, we can see, yes, it has transcribed the text. The final part of our AI agent is a very crucial function. It is to send reminders to everyone who booked appointment with us via WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is more likely going to be read than just an email reminder. And to do this, we will have to add a node that is called a webhook. A webhook is just a way for different tools or applications to exchange information with each other. Here we need the method needs to be post. And now let's go back. Now to send a reminder, we need another AI model here. We will just call it message. We'll just take messenger model, select our OpenAI account that we already have, resources text. Now here the model, I will also use GPT-4. So here, GPT-4o, this one. Now the prompt, I've already defined this here. This is here, the reminder message prompt. Let's go in there. So switch this to expressions. I might need to change the variables later, but this is basically just giving it the instructions. Your job is to send a short reminder WhatsApp message using the first name and so on, like this different variables. They actually come from our Google Sheet, because there's this secret feature that we've built into this, or I've built into this Google Sheet template. It's not a normal template, but it contains something called AppScript, which is a small program that can perform certain tasks for our Google Sheet. In this case, it should send certain information from here that is stored in a Google Sheet into this workflow, and it will then send information through the webhook to our model that creates the reminder message. And then, of course, we need also the response back. So here, this is our response that we need to receive back. And here, and then we also need to map the phone numbers and stuff like that. And this is also something we get then from the webhook. But we will just put in test here. We will just, because before we can match that, we need to activate our webhook first. And to do this, let's go in here. We will pick this test URL. We will later pick the other one. But now let's go back into our AppScript code. And again, to find that, you go to extensions and AppScript, and then you open it. And then we scroll to the bottom. There's a field where we have, it's called Insert Webhook. Now, what this little program does, it watches my Google Sheet for new appointments. And when it finds a new one that was confirmed, it schedules the WhatsApp reminder. And what it means is, it is defined here, 1 hour before the appointment date. It will send this information to my webhook, which will then create the reminder message and send the reminder like 1 hour before the appointment date. Now you can modify this just by changing this number to 4, then it would be 4 hours before the appointment, the reminder would go out. Or you can do it 24 hours. You could even do it minutes, but by doing minutes, you need to remove this part, and then it's like, which I will do like 2 minutes before the appointment is due, I will get a reminder. And I will use this just for testing purposes. So, and that's all we need to do. So now I need to actually put in an appointment that is due like in 5 minutes. So I will just copy this, duplicate this here, and I need to change this. Today is March 27. The time, let's say it should be 11:41. 11:41. So this +1 is just my time zone. And then we need to remove that because it has not been scheduled yet. And then I just need to wait. Or actually what I need to do also is I need to go in here and click on listen for test event. And now this is activated and it's listening for information from my Google Sheet. And it will now process this new entry, set up this specific reminder that will go out then 2 minutes before the appointment is due. And then I will continue this video. And now we see it was marked reminder sent as yes. And if I go to my webhook, I see now, okay, now I have received the information. So let's go back. And now I can check, okay, yes, here. You see everything is green. The first name of Andreas Müller, okay. Regarding the body, the topic, how to start a YouTube channel, it will take place on, then comes the date, the appointment date. So everything is green, so that I don't need to map anything. The only thing I need to map now is here, messenger, that sends the reminder to that person. So I need to here select fixed. This is my test phone number. And here must be the recipient phone number. So I need to go execute previous nodes. And then here, let's scroll down a little bit to that phone number here. Great. And here, the output of the message is this. Let's drag it in here. That's the output from the AI model. Now let's click save. And now before we test it again, we will take the production URL, webhook, and go back to our app script, and now replace the test webhook with our production webhook. Now click save. Let's go back here. Let's also switch this back here. Let's switch this to active. Okay. And now what we will do, I will add another test entry. So we can do one more test to see if the reminder actually comes through to WhatsApp. Let's just put this test event here, and we'll actually need to put in my actual phone number with my country code. And then I delete this, and then I just have to wait a few minutes. Okay, now the reminder was sent. And now if I check my WhatsApp, I see, hey, Andreas, just a reminder that your appointment about how to start a YouTube channel is about to start. And it also converted it into the correct time zone. Best, Fabian. And of course, I've also gotten this reminder on my phone. So everything is now set up perfectly. Now, finally, the last step, I will go into my app script code, and then you need to define, okay, when should the reminder go out, right? So here I have this is at the moment it's 2 minutes before the appointment. But if I want to switch it back to hours, I would put in the 60 here, and then it would be this would be 1 hour before the appointment is due, then the reminder would go out. And once you have set up your reminder time, then this is ready. It's switched to active and everything is set up. So now the final question is, how do you get this WhatsApp AI agent into a production ready tool where you just put on any number or WhatsApp link to your website, and then it will just work for you and everybody can access it and interact with it and book appointments with you through this WhatsApp agent. Now to get to this, I will not go into detail, but I will show you the steps required and the options you have. You have a few options here. The first option is you can add your own phone number, but then you would need to have an extra phone number. So I wouldn't do this with the phone number I have here for my private phone, because you would need to delete your personal WhatsApp account from this phone number and add a business account to this phone number. So if I would go this route of using my own phone number with this AI agent and putting it on a website, I would buy an extra SIM card and then just register it through this process here. And you may need to do a few more configurations here to get it to work, add a payment method, and so on. The other approach is to use a tool like Twilio, which allows you to manage and send WhatsApp messages at scale. And there you can also register a new phone number and you monitor and manage all the WhatsApp messaging instead of having it to manage all on your phone. You manage this on a platform like this. Now I've tried to also set it up with another platform here, which is called Brevo. So if I go to conversations, there you can see all this messaging that takes place with WhatsApp that any customer can use to book appointments. I can monitor it inside this tool. However, then I have to pay this tool for certain usage and I will tell you the cost of using tools like Twilio or this in a minute, but I just want to show you how you would need to change the setup of your WhatsApp agent if you want to tools like this. Usually they have a webhook specifically that you get from these tools, and also an HTTP request to send back the information. Some tools even have their own modules here. For example, Twilio has a module here, so you might be able to set it up directly with that. However, the core functionality of the AI agent can stay the same. And then you would basically get a link like this that then directs people to open WhatsApp, and then they click just on continue to chat, and then they would be able to interact with your AI agent. Now let's talk about costs. Here's a breakdown of the exact costs depending on how much booking you have per month. The first item on our list is WhatsApp costs. Now WhatsApp charges you based on how many messages you're sending. And if it's under 1,000, it's free. And then at 2,000, you pay $3 and so on. And here's like how many WhatsApp messages it requires on average to have 50 bookings, 100 bookings, and so on. So if you have only 50 bookings a month, WhatsApp would be free. Then OpenAI API costs. So this is like for generating the messages, for running the AI agent, for transcribing the voice. It's fairly cheap. So for 50 bookings, it's just like a little bit less than $2. And even at 1,000 bookings, it's still like only $35 a month. Now for n8n executions, so n8n to trigger the entire workflow once, this is one execution. And I figured, okay, to have like one booking, like that guides you through all the messaging back and forth, is around like 30 executions that are required to do this. And you get in n8n on the basic plan, you get here 24, it costs you $24 or euros, and you get 2,500 executions per month. So if you have 50 bookings a month, you're still within that limit, and it costs you like $24. Now, if you increase your bookings, you also have more executions. So the next plan would be $60 a month, where you get 10,000 executions, which will last you until you have like around 400 bookings a month, and then you need to upgrade to the enterprise plan. Now, the final cost we have is like Twilio. If you use like a WhatsApp API service instead of using your own phone, they require you also to pay a small fee based on the messages you use. And Twilio would be one of the cheapest one of the cheapest solutions out there. So for like 450 messages, it costs you like $2.50. For even for 200 bookings, like $10 a month. For 1,000 bookings, like $50 a month. And to sum it all up, like here is the total cost. By the way, you find a link to this also in your resource document you can access. And here the total monthly cost, if you have 50 bookings a month to run this entire AI agent, is like $30. For 100 bookings, it's $27. For 200 bookings a month is $91. And for 1,000 bookings a month, that would be like 33 bookings a day. It will cost you $300 a month. If you want to see more videos like this, where I build these AI agents and automations without any coding skills, please like and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos.